Hey everyone, today I'm reviewing the Light Armor 3x3x6 powder coating booth. If you need to powder coat small parts in a home, garage, or small shop like myself, this may be a good fit for you. So I'm going to take you through my process of ordering it, getting it shipped, putting it in its place, and then some practical tips and tricks I've learned through using it for the past 6 months. And then I'll end with some things that I'm planning to change or would do differently if I had to order it again. So when it came to order, I went with the cheaper option, the cardboard and plastic wrap, and it had arrived in good shape, but it was damaged. You can see at the top here, it got bent and I'm missing one of the hex screws. Light Armor did work with me to file a claim with the freight company, and I was able to get a bit of cash back. So not a terrible result. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would pay the extra for the crate shipping because I think I got lucky, and I think damage to the sheet metal could happen really easily. So a big thing with powder coating is grounding. Having a good ground for your part is key to help the powder adhere to the part. So for grounding, what I did was outside this wall on the back side of my shop, I drove a ground rod into the ground, and then I ran a thick gauge wire through the wall up into my building. And then I connected it to this grounding magnet, which I typically just keep either stuck to the back of the booth or to the top. And I've had good success with that. You can really see the powder adhere to the part. I know best practice is generally to drive a ground rod through the floor, like in your powder coat booth, and just run the ground that way. But my shop is 340 square feet. I'm changing the layout of it quite often to try to get the most out of the space. So I wasn't ready to drive a ground rod through my main floor. That's why I did it out in the back. So that's what I did. Seems like a really good option. So definitely something you all could consider doing. So operation is super simple. There's one switch at the top here. It turns on both the lights and the fan and the filter. My process that I've found works best for the parts I'm doing is I will hang a part from here. I'll spray one part at a time. I'll then transfer it to my cart, and then I wheel my cart into the oven. I chose to do it that way because previously powder coating multiple parts on the cart gets covered in powder, and then that powder cures on the cart, and then you're constantly cleaning the cart. And even though it's 3x3x6, which is way bigger than what I was using before, it's still hard to get all around multiple parts. So like I said, the easiest thing for me is hang one part here, powder coat it, be able to rotate it, go around it, then transfer it to my cart, wheel my cart into the oven. So one change I made to my booth was I added these casters to the bottom. As I said before, my shop is 340 square feet. It's super small, and I need to be able to access all four walls. I have some shelves on this wall. I have an exhaust fan, so I need to be able to get up there and access it. The oven's like 450, 500 pounds. I'm not moving that, but the booth is quite light. So putting it on these casters allows me to move it so I can access this back wall. It also helps cleaning up excess powder because it's not stuck underneath, because I can easily wheel it around. So that was a simple update that I made that you all may consider. So speaking of cleanup, the booth comes with one exhaust fan and filter. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. It works well. It really does draw the powder, and the filter gets pretty full pretty quickly. One upgrade I may make in the future is add a second fan and filter below it, because there still is a fair amount of powder that ends up on the ground. Maybe I'm spraying too much powder, or maybe I need to empty the filter more often. But I think that would be a nice add-on, is if Light Armor either offered the option for a second filter, or maybe I'll just add one myself, because I think that would help fix all the powder that's falling on the ground. So like I said, this fan and filter works well, but I think a second would even improve it. To change the filter, you just remove 2 hex screws along this top bracket, and then you can pull the filter out. So I'll show you that real quick. So mine takes a 24 by 24 by 1 inch filter. The actual size is 23 3/8 by 23 3/8 by 3/4. And you do need to get that actual size. A true 24 by 24 by 1 will not fit in there. So I'll generally take this outside and either knock it on the ground or spray compressed air through it just to clean it out. Once it gets really caked up and full, maybe every like 6 to 8 times, then I will just replace the filter. You can buy packs of them on Amazon. They're not too expensive. But yeah, that's the process for changing the filter and what I kind of do. So those are my thoughts and how I use the Light Armor 3x3x6 powder coat booth. Before I got this, I was using a photo booth to powder coat my parts, which got the job done, but was a huge pain in the butt. Obviously, no ventilation, no filtering, way smaller, so I couldn't get underneath parts, and just a pain to deal with. So this upgrade was absolutely worth it. It fits all the parts that I would ever powder coat, and it goes really well with their 3x3x6 powder coat oven, which I'll be reviewing in a separate video. So if you have a small shop like me or just need to do a few small parts, this is a really good option. I don't know of any other booths in this price range that come in this size. Light Armor is also constantly upgrading them, sending out emails about how they improve the seals, they add additional features, and they do offer ways for you to upgrade your own booth, which I think is super cool. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section down below. Happy to help anyone if they're interested in purchasing one of these. Just kind of share more about what I like, what I don't like. Yeah, thanks for watching.